You might be. Oh, okay. You might be convinced. That's what Courtney just said. Yeah, there he is. He's right there already. The top door right in front of you. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, me scared. Time, isn't it? Wow. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Smith,
Here.
Rose. She's on Zoom.
Oh.
Burbank here, Green,
Here.
Arsano,
Here.
Tremblay,
Here.
Anderson, absent.
Entertain a motion to excuse.
Motion to excuse Councilmember Anderson.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, council. Well, first off, I'll apologize. I can't hear out of my right ear, so if I'm yelling or whatnot, my apologies. I'm not 100% tonight. All right, we'll start here with announcements. The Senior Advisory Commission is here tonight for a joint meeting with the city council. This is our first time hosting a joint meeting with one of our new commissions. Tonight, they will share their 2023 and 2024 proposed work plan items. We have a table out in front for the commissioners to come and join us at this time. These commissioners were all appointed by the city council, but please start by introducing yourself, and then we would be happy to hear about the work plan for next year.
Mayor, can we adopt the agenda?
Oh,
please?
sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry,
Come on
I'm
up.
ahead of myself.
Move
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? Thank you, council. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, whoever liked the,
Okay, I'm to go. My name is Grace Stansel. I'm the chairperson of the Senior Advisory Commission. Well, on my right, I have Janice James and Chloe. And she's not on the council, but she does come to the meetings. Chair, I am the chairperson, but I also have Chuck Martin, he's the vice chairperson. As an overview, the commission has met 4 times. We have created a mission statement, which is to affirm the dignity and self-worth of older adults by providing services and activities in an atmosphere that encourages and supports senior life to the fullest. The Senior Center does this through wellness, educational, social, nutritional, cultural, recreational programming, and joyful experiences. Let's see. We have created a work plan to finish 2023, also focusing on 2024. Our goal is to meet our senior citizens' needs by providing opportunities to help guide them to better health and enjoy activities, keeping in mind the varied histories and experiences of our seniors, while also making sure our great town of Buckley keeps them safe. Thank you.
So included in your packet this evening, council, is a list of work plan items. If you want to review them along with our new commissioners, or if you have any questions regarding any of the work plan items, at our next regular council meeting, we will adopt this work plan via motion. And this is something that you can use for considerations for this next annual budget.
Did you want to make any presentation on the work plan at all or?
No, I
Oh,
hadn't
okay.
prepared it.
Okay.
Okay, no, that's fine. Council members, any questions, comments? We've got Lynn on Zoom. I don't know if she can raise her hand or how.
They do all have a copy of it.
Yeah.
So they've had time to review it.
Do they have any questions?
Oh, yeah, Amanda.
When it says health related programming, what does that entail? Health related programming, like just programs that,
Well, this week, we're having an immunization clinic.
okay.
It's open to the community at large as well as our seniors.
Okay.
Did that in partnership with the Tacoma Health Department.
Okay,
They also have exercise programs to help.
perfect. Thank you.
I seem to be missing the work plan in my packet. I've got the cover letter.
It's on the other side.
Oh,
Side of it.
Yeah, take a minute, Milt. Yeah.
yeah.
And if you could make sure and speak into the mic, I know it goes online and. I want to thank you while they're reviewing. I want to thank you guys for volunteering and being a part of it. It's an important, huge, important part of our community and there's a lot of moving parts. So lots of thoughts to juggle.
And we're still learning.
Sure, on the fly.
On the fly is right.
Ron.
I would like to say that having grown up on this plateau and having a grandparents on this side of the river and aunts and whatnot, I've been very aware of the Buckley Senior Center. 6 years on the council, I had the distinct privilege twice to call bingo, which I absolutely enjoy and look forward to. And I'm glad to see that we have, it looks like 7 members of this senior advisory committee, and this is outstanding. And yes, you're an important fabric to this community and always will be. And those that come behind you, like myself, shall be as well. So thank you very much for stepping up.
Thank you.
Milt.
I had one question. On your travel programs, are you talking about like trips to Tacoma? For plays or stuff like that, or what kind of trips
I
are we
think,
talking about?
I think this is something new. And it's more like with Colette and other,
It would be partnering with other agencies to provide more long-term vacation kind of travel as groups. Hopefully. I was thinking.
I was gonna make a suggestion. Tacoma Music Playhouse has a free behind the scenes for every show they do. And it might be fun for our seniors to go down there. Doesn't cost anything. And what they do is do their last live performance. You get 5 or 6 of the songs and you get to meet, learn a little bit about the play that's coming up. And the next one is Cats. And they're behind the curtains is going to be coming up in a couple of weeks.
Thank you. Good idea.
good idea.
And it's free.
If anybody has any other suggestions, please.
I only say that because I see busloads of seniors coming to that
Oh,
event.
yeah.
It's
You're
just-
welcome to join in on the
If
front.
you don't have gray hair, you don't get in.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments? Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Public comments. I don't have anybody signed up here. Doesn't look like, couple names without a yes or no to comment, but would anybody like to come forward and speak? Got 3 minutes. And we'll have another opportunity at the end of the meeting for public comment as well. Okay. All right, we'll do it again at the end. Okay, on to committee reports, admin, finance and public safety.
So admin, finance and public safety met yesterday. And In the administration's update, we have a new senior planner that has begun employment. That is great news. The new part-time admin assistant for specifically passports has begun employment. And there's going to be a new part-time senior center assistant that will be starting soon. Special events, Chamber of Commerce trick or treat on Main will be the 28th. Halloween falls on a Tuesday, so we're going to do it on Saturday. Rainier School Volunteers Annual Christmas Tree Lighting at Thunderbird Park will be the 25th. As is the Chamber of Commerce tree lighting, which is further west to our Christmas tree on the 25th. That will involve a street closure of Main Street between, and I'm sorry that my notes did not denote Main Street, but we all know, between A, which is right here, and to River Avenue. Finance Committee, we received a Zoom briefing from what is a group that the city contracted with, the FCS group, regarding a indirect cost allocation plan, which is a citywide budgeting tool. So it's probably about a 25-minute presentation on what that plan that will be adopted by the finance department would look like. Public safety, police, tonight's when we have the staff reports, what they had to offer will be tonight. Fire department, same thing. Tonight with their update. However, they did also say that last Friday, they had a volunteer recruitment open house and they had over 50 attendees. And so I would say if we even get 10% of those people that want to sign up, that's, at 50 people on a Friday night. I mean, I think that's pretty good. And Buckley, or the court, I believe I saw Judge Barry come in. That update is on a staff report tonight.
Okay, super. Thanks, Ron. Community services.
Yeah, sorry to give you a printout. We didn't have too much to talk about, so I opted to not kill the tree for the report out. So we met last Monday. Council members Rose and Anderson weren't able to show up, so it's really abbreviated meeting. Really, we just got a sneak preview of the pros presentation that we had last Tuesday. The one thing that did come out of it, we decided that we would have our community services committee meetings on Zoom for the rest of the year, just to be more accommodating. So one shift that came out of that meeting, but that's all the report.
Okay. No PCRC, I don't think, since
No,
last time. Okay.
next week.
All right. Thanks, Brandon. Council member comments and go to the order. Any? No.
Yeah, I just like to thank the chamber for the public forum yesterday and to thank all of our candidates. I found it very informative and helped me to decide which way I'm going. But I also wanted to thank Dave Morrell, our county councilman, for being there. And it was fairly well attended. You always like to see more, but I thought, people showed up and they had some good questions. So I want to thank the council for putting that up, and 525, whoever's involved.
Cool. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
All right. Just make sure Lynn's, she'll chime in. Any other council comments, go to the order type stuff? Okay. Right, on to the consent agenda.
On tonight's consent agenda is a bid award for the Mundy Lost Road Storm Improvement Project, a professional services construction management contract, also for the Mundy Lost Road Storm Improvement Project, approving the minutes of the May 2nd, 2023 City Council study session, approval of the minutes of the June 6th, 2023 City Council study session, and claims and payroll.
Move to approve the consent agenda. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carries.
And on to staff reports. I think we'll have Chief Alfano, you're up first.
If you have any questions with regarding, the staff report is pretty much the same thing as before, and it's just on a quarterly level there. I feel like this time of year when we're in budget, I see all of you often, so I always trying to remember if I've updated on everything. So does anybody have any questions on the stats?
I had one. Washington Patrol declined to respond. Can you elaborate on that a little bit on the incident on Highway 410?
Sure. A lot of times if it's not blocking or off the road, and the troopers aren't available to come up here on the hill, they may not come out. So a lot of times our officers will assist with getting everybody off the road. But usually if it's a serious injury or if there's vehicles that need to be towed and stuff, they're going to show up and respond. But if they don't, we generally help out and take those type of calls.
It just seemed like a pretty serious incident for them not to come up and follow up.
Yeah,
On their highway.
On their highway, yeah. And sometimes it all depends on what's going on that night and their staffing and what they have going on down in East Tacoma or anywhere else in the county. So one thing I'll address on the stats is we had relatively low call volume last quarter, meaning calls for service were down. And usually a lot of times when calls for service are down, then you're going to see a productivity of an officer increase. And we're going to see ticket stats, those type of things kind of rise up and traffic stops, and which didn't happen. So that's kind of incumbent. I mean, there's a lot of variations, obviously new laws. I mean, we're down an officer, but it's still incumbent on me to ensure that those we see a rise in those, because that affects the courts, it affects everything else. So I will say that we are addressing those, and we will see the productivity of all the officers increase over the next quarter. It's something that myself and Assistant Chief Northam monitor all the time. And when we notice that, we got to try to figure out what's going on within the officers group and get them motivated a little bit to get out there, because they can always be more productive than sometimes they are. So.
Okay. Wrong.
The reoccurring theme in the public safety report over and over and over again is that because of this radical state legislature and the radical governor, because of these laws that were passed, people just drive away. And as a retired law enforcement officer, I cannot blame one police officer for not answering their calls for service is paramount. I don't blame anyone for not sticking their neck out based on what this state has done to law enforcement. Every time the chief or his staff prepares this and we see they drive off with impunity because of the radical state legislature and the radical governor that signed this. This is, having been a rank and file law enforcement officer, I understand the message that is sent from above, not from necessarily the chief of police. I appreciate the chief's comments. It is what this state has done to public safety. And that should be at the heart of everybody's conscience when they go to vote next time. This is ridiculous that these people can do this stuff. There's no way I could do that job anymore. I digress.
And we are working, with the WASPIC, the Police Chiefs Association, City Administrator Burrell and her group are working. So we're developing kind of the game plan for the 2024 legislation and what's going to be the priorities to address. And I can tell you right off the top of the list that we're seeing, obviously is recruitment and retention in law enforcement. We've had a vacant position for almost 6 months now, and it's getting harder and harder to fill that. We've exhausted the list. Now we're going back to more interviews. So that's a big deal amongst the police chiefs. The other thing is we're trying to address some of those laws, specifically the statute that doesn't allow us to talk to juveniles that are under arrest or to interview them at all. That's a big one. We're running into that. We even run into that, once a week here, just yesterday, having to deal with it over there. I can't talk to a juvenile at the middle school that's committed a crime. I have to go a roundabout way and have the school do their investigation, because as a law enforcement officer, I have to call counsel for them. And what does counsel tell them? Don't talk, they'll let you go. And that's usually what happens. So that's a big law they're going to address. The other one, they're going to try to improve the pursuit law again. I can tell you that from the 23 changes, although it was a step in the right direction for my guys, not really, because the crimes that we're seeing in Buckley that are serious to our community members, felony crimes, property crimes and things of those nature, we still can't chase. And you're getting juveniles, more and more juveniles that are committing these crimes because A, they know we can't talk to them, and B, they know we can't chase them. So we're going to have to address those, but that's the big thing. I really appreciate, Councilmember Smith's comments in that. And I can still tell you as chief, I expect more out of my guys. There's still work to be done. And so we'll get there and we'll improve that aspect of it. So.
Yeah, and one of the things that I'll touch on this real briefly, that and Chief started right down that road. One of the spotlights that doesn't get put on this nearly enough is we'll say elderly felony offenders recruiting juveniles to do their crime for them.
And that's being done.
And that is a huge problem, even right within the school district, not in the district, but in the school system. And it's an ugly situation. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I encourage all of you to get involved with the 2024 legislation when it starts going through, attend the meetings, be the voice, get a hold of the legislators, and together all of us can probably. There's a lot of people that are fed up with it, so we're going to see a change. It's going to start coming back our way. I'm just here to tell you that my Buckley cops can always do better, so that's my expectation. So,
all right,
thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Chief Scogan.
Good evening, council. Attached, you'll find your third quarter fire department activity report, where we just highlight some of the activities, calls for service, and statistics and demographics that we've been involved with, excuse me, over the last 3 months. As always, we're extremely proud of the dedication and the heart that our personnel have for this community. Every single day, they are doing the absolute very best they can to provide an excellent service for our citizens. We continue to become busier. And one of the things that we're capturing and I'm sharing quarterly with you now is the amount of times that we have concurrent or overlapping calls, which is 28% of the time. So 28% of the time that somebody dials 911 for fire medical aid, we're already on another fire medical aid call. We're proud of the fact that while that's happening, we're still able to provide a very sustainable service. Our response times are still well within the national standard. But as we've shared during budget meetings and with committee, that we know that in order to continue to be progressive and stay ahead, that we're going to continue to need to incrementally ask for additional full-time personnel over the following few years. It's been shared that our volunteer numbers are down, which they are. As of today, we're at 55 volunteers, and that sounds like a really big number, but we've identified that in order to provide a good level of service to the city, that we actually need 80, and that's where we should be. In the last year, we've lost 25 volunteers. Nearly 20 of them got hired full-time with other departments. So as Councilmember Smith shared, we had a very good turnout at our recruitment open house Friday night, nearly 50 people. I can tell you there's 36 applications on our recruitment coordinator's desk right now. We're doing the absolute very best we can. So hopefully within the next 60 days, we'll have our Survey and Rating Bureau report to share with you. And that's important because we want to maintain the excellent protection class that our citizens have today. And all the indicators we have right now show that we should be able to maintain that class 3.
Questions, comments for Chief? No.
Yeah, just a definition, a good intent call.
A good intent call would be somebody calls 911 because they see smoke, and we get there and we find that it's fog underneath of a street lamp. It was good intent. It was not an emergency. No emergency found.
Any other questions, comments for Chief? Oh, yeah, we're on.
I will state that very glad to hear yesterday that there was over 50 people at your recruitment, and you've just stated that there's 36. I want to state for the public that the Buckley overwhelming volunteer fire department, and this is not something that happened this week, last week, but when the schools got shut down on March 13th of 2020, it was the Buckley Volunteer Fire Department that showed up before that, because everybody knew what was happening the days before that. They disassembled all of the Chromebook carts and paired chargers with them so that the White River, the Glacier Middle School students could go home with a Chromebook. So when their school started on the following, whenever day that was, I don't know if it was Monday or Tuesday, they had the ability, the only school district in the state of Washington that was ready to go online. And it would not have happened at Glacier Middle School if it was not for the volunteer firefighters of the Buckley Fire Department, who came over there for 2 days and put that together so the school staff could issue those out to those kids to go home. That's not fighting fires. That is not EMS. That is community service. That is what they do.
Other duties is assigned, and we're here to take care of the community.
Absolutely. And thank you.
You bet.
Yeah. Yep, as Chief mentioned there, we do that. The fire department chief and all the crew over there do an excellent job. So much so that we continually lose many folks to full-time career jobs. It's a spectacular profession with good pay and great benefits and an unbelievable schedule, as it were. And so it's a tough road to hoe when we keep losing folks almost as fast as we bring them in. So thank you. It's a lot of balls in the air. Thanks, Chief.
Okay, thank you.
Judge Barry.
Good evening. Just want to thank you for having us and taking an interest in our branch of government. We've created a little summary of the Q2 and Q3 of what we've been up to in the court system, along with some representative numbers of different things. And I would just encourage you, if there's an area within the court that you would like to understand better, or charts or information that we could provide, because within our parlance, what we talk about a lot of different things, but we aren't always sure what the council would like to see or what the general public would like to see as far as that represented. So, but I just wanted to just do a brief summary as far as, Q2 and Q3. Not a lot of exciting things, but for us, maintaining our certifications and our trainings, and some of the things we're most proud of are looking at safety measures and looking at better communication with the people who attend court and with the stakeholders. And that's one of our top priorities. So as we did some brainstorming and discussions, and we're looking through Q3, also
trying to make sure that the public, when they face challenges, also is able to continue to be able to follow through with whatever the court has ordered, including their LFOs, their legal financial obligations. And so creating processes that are easier on the public to be able to request extensions, et cetera, may seem like a small thing, but for the public, that becomes very important because they want to keep their license in good standing. They want to keep the court in good standing. And so some of those things we're really proud of, being proactive and making sure that the public has opportunities to face life challenges and still be in good standing with the court. Looking forward to through Q3 into Q4 will be some changes to the bench, hopefully, and in the courtroom to increase communication, increase some safety measures with the court window and our ability to communicate with the public, keep staff safe. And also looking forward to some exciting new things that are happening statewide with Law Day, which will come in 2024, and looking for ways to communicate with the public through the schools and maybe other opportunities for our little branch to get out there and talk about the law and make it a little more accessible and a little bit more exciting to hear about through the school system. And so those are some of the things that we're proud of. And we just want to renew a standing invitation to come and see law in action to all of you here in the general public, and happy to have people visit. And if we see that somebody's not on a calendar, love to inquire and say, hey, do you have any questions, et cetera. So just try to be as open and welcoming as we can, knowing that the court system doesn't feel very welcoming to some people when they come in, but we really want people to be there and observe it in action, because just as with law enforcement and with community service, if we don't know what's going on in there, then we can't make changes and improve. So any questions?
Absolutely. Questions? Milk?
Yeah, the outstanding bench warrants. Do we need to hire a dog? Is that what's going on there?
Right. Well, it just depends on whether they can be found, whether they've stayed locally, and we're always going to have some outstanding bench warrants.
Yeah. It
And
just seems like $1.5 million is a lot of money to be out there.
definitely, it definitely is. And when you look month to month and see the turnover, and then if you balance that against the number of additional bench warrants that are issued, sometimes it'll seem like we're not making any progress, but because we continue to issue more bench warrants and some are outstanding, without, sometimes there are going to be emphases where we'll see a lot of warrants served, and other times the higher priority calls are going to be the response to service. And so
Well, is there any value to hiring someone to track these people down? I mean, at $1.5 million, I'm thinking you could have a full-time person and maybe recover.
well, that is above my pay grade as far as those kind of decisions, because
I'm just looking-
for me, I can't hire anybody to serve the bench warrants, but I appreciate
Well, we're looking at our budget now,
Make sure.
and $1 million, 1.5 million would help. We're looking at our budget now, and 1.5 million would help if we could track some down, even if it costs us 10% to get it. So it might be something we talk about.
Sure.
Thank you.
any other questions.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Ron?
Comment to my colleague that these bench warrants are arrested by law enforcement through normal contacts. If they're locals and our Buckley police know who they are, they know where to look for them at. But once again, the state has paved a way for these people just to drive away. Those warrants are also attached to their vehicles. If it has to do with a bench warrant pursuant to a traffic crime or infraction crime. And again, they can just drive away. And so I think that is part and parcel to what this is about. And I don't doubt for 1 minute that the men and women on the Buckley Police Department, they know who lives in their town. And if somebody's absconding from a warrant, they know how to go knock and talk and all that, or if they're walking down the street. But if they're in a car, we have this inconvenient truth that allows them to get away.
Thank you.
Amanda.
Do you know for the law day, would the vision be? Is it just aimed at secondary or would there be connections with elementary or you don't know, like a partnering with the districts? You know,
They are looking for a partnership in whatever way is
Okay.
possible, and I'm open to partnering at any level.
Okay.
For kids myself, I know that at every level, unfortunately, and fortunately, my kids have been exposed since they were little. So sometimes they know more than they should about the legal system, but I've been open in every community that I've participated in going into elementary and just explaining advocacy at that lower level. And understanding that lawyers, because lawyers have this term and it sounds like a big thing is just talking about an advocate, and elementary schools love that. And they love hearing about somebody advocating for you, just like your friends do. If something happened at recess and a teacher said this, et cetera. And so I think there's every way to advocate, and I'm open to any ideas. And I really do enjoy being in the classrooms because I myself became interested in the law in 5th grade through a book that I read. So it very much is, to me, is about introducing these ideas and dreams at an early age and not just focusing on people who are one step away from taking that dream and making it a goal and turning it into a reality. So I am as open to that at any age. So please don't hesitate. If you have an idea, send it my way.
Okay.
And love to get it in at any level. It sometimes, it's just the teachers knowing that there would be an interest or a tour or a question and answer, which we have done before here in the courtroom. So.
Okay.
Yeah, as the judge said, it's probably not in the top 100 things that folks think of. Well, let's go to the court today and just see what's going on. It's way down the list. So, but I would encourage everybody, both public and council members. It's an interesting process to watch it from when folks come through the door till they leave.
Well, and what is amazing is when a classroom comes through and then people start asking questions. Boy, are those some interesting questions that some kids can ask, and some kids that unfortunately have been exposed to the process, but it's important also for the kids who've never been exposed to the process. And so it really is an educational experience for everybody, including the people answering the questions.
Yep. Yeah. Well, any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Judge
thank you.
Barry. Appreciate it. And Jessica, did you have? Yep. No? Okay, you're just staying. Okay, just checking. Okay. Have anything? I know you're
Nothing
on.
from me tonight. I just wanted to thank and acknowledge the many members of our team who are present tonight. I think that we do have a unique showing where almost every department is here. So thank you all for being here.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you to all the staff for showing up. Feel free to come anytime. So, let's see, last but no, public comment. One more go round for anybody would like to speak, 3 minutes. Anybody? Okay. Before we have a motion to adjourn, I just wanted to, I think today, 10/10 is Courtney's exactly 1 year she's been with the city here. So I want to acknowledge that here today.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
I thought this was a resignation.
I know.
You made it past a year.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, council.